inside, the place was a shambles. But the larder in the storeroom was intact, and we took sacks of flour and a tub of butter, sugar and tinned meats. Supplies for a siege. Upstairs, sprawled by the telephone, was the farmer's wife.
I want to try the wireless.
Oh, it's no use. Here, carry these things out to the car. We have much time, you know.
We taking their car?
Yes.
Is it right?
Call it a neighborly loan, if you like.
We'll need more oil for the stove.
Yes, I'll get it. Come on, Meg, we have work to do. The farmer had been planning to build a new silo, and stacked in the barn were large sheets of galvanized iron. I found snips, too, and a keg of nails. I was racing against time. The second trip I made alone. This time I was in search of lumber. Hardwood. I tore up the flooring in the hall of the farmhouse. There was a bale of barbed wire. I tied it to the back of the car. And as a final, futile gesture, I went upstairs to the telephone. Oh, bother. One last look round. It was growing late. And the final gesture. Man lives not by bread alone. I took their gramophone. As I came down the little lane to our door, I glanced out to sea, and my heart stood still. I couldn't believe my eyes. There were ships there. Great battleships, 3 of them. The Royal Navy. Throughout the proud history of this isle. In time of crisis. No, I was wrong. The Navy was not there. The gulls were rising from the sea. The tide was turning. Help me quickly, it's time.
All right. Come on, dear. Mother. Quickly. We'll have to leave the rest.
Yes, hurry, in the house.
The gramophone.
No, not now.
It'll only take a minute. Help her.
Oh, here then. You take the records.
Come on, they're coming. Son.
What?
That sound upstairs.
They're in.
Oh.
I'm going to build a barricade at the foot of the stairs.
Can you do it entirely?
I've got to.
And at the door, the sound is different there somehow.
Don't worry about it.
All right, dear.
Mr. Chippikins, you're an evil little man. Father,
What?
these are all Harry Lauder.
Really?
Every single one.
Oh, now, dear, it may seem a little old-fashioned to you, but your father and I used to find him quite entertaining when we were courting.
Did you really?
There was a soft scratching at the windows. This didn't bother me. Those were the small birds. But at the door were the hawks. There I would put up sheets of metal, but that meant nails, and the nails were in the car. Still, I had the snips. Oh, there were so many things to do. Fortifications to erect. A plan of defense to follow. I have done all I can until the next ebb tide. The barbed wire stands in the hall. I intend to nail it across the outside of the windows. I don't think they will be able to get through that. And the galvanized metal is cut to size. And when I get the nails, I will put it up. I am becoming distressed about the main door. The falcons, the hawks, the birds of prey continue to dig at it. But if we can but survive this phase of the attack, we may make out. We have food and fuel for a week. But with each new attack, they grow more intelligent. Their numbers are increasing steadily. When will it end? How will it end? And as I sit here staring at the pages I have written, I cannot help wondering why. Why the Almighty has decreed that this is to be the end.
Is this the entire manuscript, Jenkins?
Yes, sir. That's all there is.
Well, you're our editor. What do you make of it?
I'm not quite sure, sir. I wish I could talk with the author about it, but as I told you, the story was submitted with no address. I haven't been able to find a trace of John Waite.
Undoubtedly, he's one of those curious, shabby fellows who live in squalor with great prophetic visions. You know the sort.
That's it, sir.
What?
Prophetic. That's what the story is. Almost a warning.
Oh? In what way, Jenkins?
Well, sir, I think it has to do with nature and her system of checks and balances. You see, what he's saying is that a man, with his ever-recurring wars, his new weapons of destruction, threatens to destroy not only himself, but all forms of life. And nature might find a way to prevent this.
By wiping out man, you mean? Getting rid of him?
Yes, sir. Nature, or the Almighty, call it what you will, just isn't going to allow all life to come to an end. And so, through the birds, it will quite simply take care of the situation.
Yes, Jenkins. Perhaps that's it. Perhaps. Who knows?
And now, once again, here is our star, Mr. Herbert Marshall.
You know, Don, it was a pleasure doing a story as odd as the birds, even though I do think you billed me incorrectly.
What do you mean, Bart?
Well, after all, I was scarcely the star of the piece when you consider the gulls and the gannets. Villains that they were, they ran the whole show.
Well, I suppose you're right, Bart, but after all, we couldn't bill a bird.
Bill a bird, indeed.
You made me say it, Bart, but seriously, you still like birds, don't you?
Oh, of course I do. But now I understand something I never did before.
What's that?
You remember during the war we had airplane spotters, men and women, too, who spent hours scanning the skies on watch for the enemy?
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, tonight I think I've at last discovered what bird watchers are for.
Well, I give up. But anyway, thank you, Herbert Marshall, for being with us tonight.
It was a great pleasure. Good night, everybody.
Radio Theater is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.